I've been professionally filming animals both in the wild and in captivity for over the last 7 years. And trust me, you won't believe some of the things I've seen. Today, we're gonna be counting down the 10 craziest animal encounters I've ever captured in 4K. Make sure to stay until number 1, because it's a clip that shocked the entire world. At number 10, a cobra eating a reticulated python. Now, seeing a king cobra eat a reticulated python is not something special. In fact, this happens all the time. King cobra's main diet consists of snakes. So this isn't anything new, but being able to observe it so close up in such a controlled environment was awesome. And to have a snake as beautiful as Taco being the one that we're filming was amazing as well. It's so crazy to think of snakes predating on each other. I don't know if it's just the fact that they have no arms and legs, both prey and predator, but something about it is just insane. This is the craziest bit of spaghetti I've ever seen anything eat. And reticulated pythons are absolute giants. This is actually a pretty young snake right here. These guys can reach up to 20 plus feet as a full-grown animal, and believe it or not, king cobras are not far behind that. They may not be as large of a body as a reticulated python, but an 18-foot king cobra is definitely something that's possible. And this was just such an awesome opportunity to geek out with my best friend, Brian. He loved king cobras and reticulated pythons, and I know him seeing this was an awesome opportunity, so I'm so glad I was able to sit right alongside and watch him watch Taco eat this baby reticulated python. Wow, what an amazing memory. It's already insane when one apex predator goes after another, but seeing it like this is absolutely wild, and we're only on clip number 10. Coming in at number 9, crocodile burping. Okay, so this one's not really like a intense or scary clip, but it's one of my favorites because Peter Birch from Critter Cam, Dingo Dinkelman, Brian, and myself are all hanging out over at Crocodile Kyle's place over primitive predators. Made us all laugh, and it's a laugh that echoes in my head forever and ever.
Excuse you.
On to number 8, a jawless gator eating. Yeah, time to take a trip back to Gatorland to go see Jolene.
Come on, you gotta wet your tongue. There you go, pretty girl. And you see Nellie's coming up from the side. Go over there, Nellie. Go over there with Jay. Hey, girl, that's a big jump. Hey, girl. Nellie always does this. Nellie! Oh my goodness. Nellie, go for a little swim. Hey, Jolene's gonna get you. Sorry, Jolene. Here. There you go.
Number 7, a mutated ball python. You guys gotta remember that Brian bred thousands and thousands of snakes over the course of 40 years of working with animals, and he had never seen anything like this before, let alone myself. So it was pretty crazy to see what was peering inside this wild egg.
So I gotta be honest, we have no choice but to investigate what in the world is going on in here. What mess are we about to find?
And quite a mess it was. The snake's organs were growing on the outside. You can actually see the beating heart as well as like the intestines and stuff while still seeing the fully formed snake. I've never seen anything like this before, and it was definitely crazy. But you guys got to remember, this stuff doesn't only happen in breeding snakes or in reptiles in general. This type of stuff can also happen in humans and dogs and all kinds of animals. Sometimes nature can be brutal, and it's usually the luck of the draw, and unfortunately this snake here was pretty unlucky.
Seeing things that we've never seen before.
Clip number 6, a crocodile leaping out of the water. Cuban crocodiles are known to be one of the most athletic animals on the planet, and especially one of the most athletic crocodiles. In their native habitat of Cuba, they would often hunt birds and ground sloths, making them need the ability to jump super high and run very fast. And these guys love showing it off. It is unbelievable to see the way these guys move. This clip proves why you should never stand too close to the edge, especially in places that have crocodilians swimming around. All right, guys, we're about halfway through this video, and if you've ever wondered how I captured clips like this, I've got something for you. Over on my Patreon, I'm gonna start teaching you exactly how to film and edit insane animal footage just like this, plus sharing behind the scenes content and a whole bunch of other stuff you won't find anywhere else, so make sure if you're not already a member, you go join right now. On to the final half of the list. This stuff gets even crazier. Number 5, the world's first and second all-white king cobras.
Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. Whew. Look at this snake, guys. This is what I was talking about right here.
The all-white king cobra is one of legend and myth. It was also a snake that Brian had nightmares or dreams of his entire life, which is just super crazy. So when we got the chance to go to Kevin McCurley's place over at Nerd and go visit with Lilith, the all-white king cobra, we did not pass up the opportunity. It was wild to see how excited Brian was, but also how insane this snake was. After all, this girl lived a handful of years in the wild being completely white. She stuck out like a sore thumb, so you definitely need a bit of an attitude in order to survive.
Is doing, and be aware enough to get away from it, just like that.
And oh my god, guys, did you see how close Lilith got to Brian's foot. I remember being in the moment like, oh my God, did that just happen? And then going home and watching the footage later and being like, oh yes, it did. One white cobra is a once in a lifetime sight, but there was also another white king cobra that popped up a few years later and was a surprise to all of us. One day we got a call from Crocodile Kyle saying that he had a surprise for Brian, and Brian was so excited, we literally hopped in the car and headed down to Florida. Kyle and Ryan were keeping Brian on edge all day, teasing him with what may be to come later. Now, Brian had seen a close-up photo on Instagram of this all-white snake, but didn't know what it was. You can't really tell an all-white snake by its pattern because there's no pattern. So when Kyle was holding this all-white cottonmouth, I remember Brian being like, wow, that's pretty cool, but I don't know, it didn't look like the scales I saw in the photo. And it was at that moment that Brian turned around seeing Ryan holding, yes, another all-white leucistic king cobra. And Brian geeked out, man. He was so excited. He literally said he almost fainted, which was crazy. And also probably true because Brian loved animals so much. And especially an animal like the all-white king cobra. Again, one of myth and lore. One of those snakes that is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. And we got the opportunity to see it twice.
This is like a dream come true for me. It's a day I will never forget. Unbelievable. I'm going to hand this back to you. Because it's your little baby. Oh my gosh, guys, isn't that little guy incredible? Oh my gosh, I literally, dude, I almost fainted. I swear to gosh, I mean, when these guys dropped this leucistic king cobra on me, like, wha-bam!
Coming in at number 4, the snake with the largest fangs ever being milked live on camera. We were over at Will Nace's house down in Florida, and he was showing us his incredible reptile collection. And Brian was gonna be milking a king cobra, but not before Dingo took the chance to milk the gaboon viper.
The longest fangs of any snake in the world and the biggest yield of venom of any snake on the planet, and we're about to find out why. Oh, went right over the glass. Look at that venom and those fangs, 2-inch fangs, a big gaboon viper. And look at that venom. I tell you what, I got the shakes. Look at that. I'm shaking like a leaf.
And huge shout out to Dingo for making this clip possible as well. I mean, he was fearless and had so much love for wildlife. Such an incredible moment that we got to share together. And yeah, miss him greatly as well. You guys know that. So cool to relive this memory because it's been a long time since I even really thought about this one. Before we get to the top 3 craziest moments I've ever filmed, let me know down in the comments, do you have a favorite one already, or are you still waiting for that number 1 clip? Number 3, tube medicating a venomous snake. This was a crazy one. Bruce had a snake that was no longer eating and needed to get some medicine in it quick in order to possibly wash away any parasites and also to give it some nutrition. So Brian got busy mixing up a little slurry of some stuff. Then he had to proceed to actually tube this snake. So you have a clear tube, you actually put the snake in so it can't back out and bite you, so you can administer medication. It was crazy to watch. I'd never seen anything like it before. Not to mention the snake is crazy. I mean, these are bush adders. They look like dragons, which is just so cool. Once the snake finally decided to open its mouth and allow the syringe to actually go inside, Brian was able to pump this bush adder full of hydration, nutrition, and some medicine, and was probably one of the reasons this snake even got better in the first place. So shout out to Brian. He always surprised me with how good he was at handling these things. It's just absolutely incredible. On to the second craziest clip I've ever filmed. A 2-headed snake eating. It's crazy enough to have a 2-headed snake, but to see both heads eat at the same time was definitely something special that I never took for granted. Now, the clip that made my jaw drop when I first captured it. Clip number 1, a crocodile galloping. Yes, people knew that crocs could run like this, but no one really ever filmed it like this before, from the side, in slow motion. It was so crazy to see this giant crocodilian running like a German Shepherd, something I will never forget because literally it was the biggest clip I've ever posted alongside Gatorland and Brian, dummy viral, picking up millions and millions of views overnight. This footage actually went viral worldwide. It was picked up by major publications and viewed over 1 billion times throughout all of social media. People knew crocs could gallop, but this was the first time the world really saw it. It was a sensation that inspired so many other people that kept Cuban crocodiles to film similar videos. And guys, I'm kind of like the most proud of this clip, not just because it's something really cool and it's been shared a bunch of times. When you look up like crocodile gallop on Google, it's like one of the first things that comes up, and that's really cool. I mean, even if it's been stolen 1 million times, not even really perfectly attributed to me or Gatorland or whatever, it's still really cool to know that we were part of putting some information about animals up on the internet for other people, scholars and college kids or whatever, to actually study in the future. And that to me is just really special. So even though it doesn't always get attributed to me, we know the real story, right? And now for a couple honorable mentions, some things that I thought were really interesting, but maybe didn't make the final cut.
Oh no!
Really now. Wow. A crocodile fight. Yeah, I have never seen anything like this before, and it was one of the first moments I knew that crocodiles were gonna be one of my favorite animals of all time. I've always heard of how powerful and fast they were, but this, you could feel the rumble as these two crocs collided. It was insane, super, super wild to see, and definitely a moment I won't forget. Just the other week, I got this great experience hanging out with the sandhill cranes as they were dancing around. You guys already know, it made me so happy, so had to throw it up on the list. Guys, I just want to give a huge shout out to Brian. Obviously, none of these clips would have been possible without you, bro. And I miss you so much, and I'm so happy I get to still share these memories with friends and family as well as with all of you guys. And another huge shout out to Savannah and Gatorland. Honestly, I didn't even realize that so many of my favorite moments came from being there, but it makes sense, and that's why I still love working with them to this day. And they just dropped another video that I helped edit as well, so go to their page and check it out. Just huge shout out to all you guys. I really appreciate you more than you know. And trust me, guys, this is nowhere near the end of the crazy animal clips we're gonna get together. In fact, this is really just the beginning, but speaking of the end,